What's up, y'all?
What up?
You are about to get highly educated with the Cannabis Closet podcast with me, Canna Queen. That's me. Hi. And MJ. This is an adult content show with no limitations on. Just laughing about what happened right before we went live. I'm sorry. No limitations on subject, language, or actions. Opinions, views, and expressions may or may not be that of us, the hosts. That's us. Our guests, our subsidiaries. That's also us. Please note, we are not medical physicians or attorneys. So any information that you hear is based solely on our personal research and knowledge and experience and all that shit. So anyways, thank you for rolling up and showing up, and we hope you enjoy the show. If you're here, say hello in the comments section. Hi.
Did we hear from Jacob?
Yeah, he just said he was running a little bit late. I told him he could be here by 4:40, and it's fine.
I just wasn't sure if where.
Yeah, we have a guest today. Jacob's coming on today, and we're going to talk about the cannabis laws. But while we're waiting for him to come through, we're going to do our usual banter thing like we do. So what's going on?
Are we starting? Where are we starting?
Let's start with we have some pop-ups coming up. We're going to be at the Black Sky Heavy Metal Market on September 24th.
That's this Sunday.
And we're going to be at Denver Yoga Social at Catbird on October 4th. So that's coming up. There's going to be raffles, and the yoga is really amazing, and Catbird is really awesome.
Yeah,
it's a super chill place. So we really invite you to come out and check it out. And we're going to be doing sampling there. And Catbird has Queen Kitty on hand. So come out, do some samples, and get some Queen Kitty and do some yoga. Yeah.
It's awesome. It's a beautiful venue. The weather should be lovely. And we're going to be there.
So, we're going to be there.
You know, October 4th at Catbird. And this Sunday, we're excited to go back to Heavy Metal Flea Market. So that's at the Black Sky Brewery. If y'all haven't been there, check it out. They have great pizza too.
They do.
And the market itself, it's a fun little spot to pick up some curiosities and meet some cool people.
Yeah, agreed. I'm excited that we got invited back.
Yeah,
super stoked on that. So I'm mad at myself today because I'm an overreactor, and I know that about myself. And so my anxiety got the best of me recently. If that's happened to you, it's okay. You're not alone. And I had like the roughest couple of days. And then this morning I had like a really good cry, and then I felt better. And then, yeah,
we talked about letting your other voice have reason too. And then it's always like, no. The voice of reason does not get to have a voice.
I don't want to. Yeah. So yeah, that's the only thing I'm mad about. Well, it's not the only thing I'm mad about right now. I'm mad, at the world, of course. But if we sat here all day and got specific about it, we could be here all day. I'm mad that the representative of Colorado fights against, drag story times, but yet is caught groping a man who hosts drag shows in his bar, groping all over him groping all over her. So like, you're a fucking hypocrite to start. And second,
I've missed something.
Yeah, Lauren Boebert was at the Beetlejuice live show and was getting groped all over. Her boobs were out, which, no hate. If you want to put your girls up in your throat, it's fine with me. I think that's sexy. But also, you're a fucking hypocrite if you're Lauren Boebert doing that. Mm-hmm. Because of the way that she talks about others. And she's not mad that they're doing those things, because clearly she has no problem with those things. Right. She has a problem with them. She's a problem, Colorado. I don't know why you keep voting for her. Knock it off.
She's gross. Just goes to show who votes.
Yeah, y'all got to get out and vote. And that's gonna bring us into the next thing that we kind of want to talk to you guys about a little bit.
Do we want to wait till Jacob arrives so we could cover Hispanic Heritage Month?
Yeah, we'll wait for that. I was gonna say let's go back up to the other thing that we were gonna talk about. So we've kind of hinted at this a little bit, but a little bit we did a little bit. We've kind of hinted, but anyways, we're going to take an early hiatus. We know we usually do this hiatus closer to the holidays, but we are tired and we are a little bit bored, and we love you, those of you listening to us now live and those of you that listen to us after for the after show or the posted show. We love you. We appreciate you. And yes, we appreciate your love. We appreciate your likes. We appreciate you participating in the comments.
But y'all are on Discord with us and join us live in other spaces. So
yes. And also there's about like between 5 to 15 regular people. So there's 5 that are like super loyal. You guys are here every time. We're not complaining to you about our numbers. That's our own thing. But what we are saying is that we would like to take a hiatus, take a nap. And also we want to rework the show. We want to do something a little bit different.
We want to refresh it.
Yeah. So that's more refreshing. Mm-hmm. That's what we want to do. So we are not canceling the show, but we are going to take a long break.
And we're going to change how it's brought to you. We probably won't have all this thing.
Yeah. It's not highly likely that we're going to continue to broadcast on all of these channels. The post channels, we will continue to broadcast on those. But we'll probably keep it to one platform otherwise. Plus, we're going to do some Instagram also lives. So stay tuned for that and keep posted for that, because we're still going to do those things. And we did want to last show. Was it last show or the week before? I think it was last show. Where was I last week?
Oh, when you were in Durango?
Yes. Was I in Durango last week? I think. So we did the show in Durango, but we didn't do the show. We just jumped on to a live together. And we just smoked out with you guys. So we might do that from time to time. But when it comes to the like YouTube channel, the Twitch channel, the Facebook channel, we're going to cut those down. So we're going to still share on our Facebook page. We're going to still share but we're only going to go live on one platform. And we haven't decided which one that is yet. The high likelihood is it's between Facebook and YouTube. And the high likelihood is that YouTube is going to win out. Yeah. But that's what we'll see.
You let us know. What do y'all prefer? YouTube is, it's more accessible now. I feel like it's more.
They did start canceling a lot of cannabis channels, which makes us kind of weary, but so does Facebook. And so, you have the same problem. Overall,
we've just got to find each other as a community. That's also why you can follow us in our other spaces. Also email us, join our email list. We
talk to us,
if and we Discord, you can get us live and
so our solo's gonna stay the same. You can still jump on our Discord and chat with us, hit us up there. We would like to maybe jump on and do like a morning meeting from time to time, So
it's us in the morning.
It's us in the morning,
We used to do that a lot.
We did. And so maybe we'll get back to that. And just kind of invite you a little bit more into what we're doing in our lives, like on the go with like an Instagram or a Discord. But with the show itself, it's just, okay, first of all, even if you don't put a lot of money into it, it costs a lot of money to do a podcast. It's this costs us money, and it costs us time, energy as well. So, we do the show live, so we take time out of the day to do that. This is by choice. This is all by choice. I'm not even complaining about it. I'm just letting you know what we do. Prior to the show, we usually prepare some show notes so that we have something to talk to you about. And that takes a minute. That takes some time to prepare that.
And the post-show stuff that you do.
We have to, we have to prepare a show poster. We try to bring those a little fresh. So we do those pre-show. And then actually, correct, post-show, then I have to download everything and then upload it into our Anchor account, which spreads it out to all of the different podcast places where you can listen. I post on social media about it. Sometimes you'll see I don't post on social media about it. It's because that's literally what I do. Is like I'm supposed to cover the Queen Kitty, the CQ LLC, the Cannabis Closet, and my own personal thing. And on my own personal thing, I don't even do anything on there hardly anymore. I just post things I see. I'm like, oh, that's cute. Post it in my story,
Yeah, same.
Just to stay relevant. And so it's a lot. It's just been a lot. And so I just need to take a step back and focus, because I feel like this show gets lost in everything else too. I feel like
it has become a hindrance versus versus something that we started to do out of an enjoyment. But we feel repetitive. We want to just change it up and refresh, and we don't know what that means yet.
Yeah.
So we're going to take some time to talk it out, work it out. We've got other projects going on, obviously. Queen Kitty.
Always.
CQLLC, where those are avenues that definitely have potential for growth and income.
Yeah. Whereas, we're not seeing that right now with and it's kind of doing the podcast a disservice. We feel like sometimes when we come on here and we're a little lackluster, we we didn't have time to prepare for the show, or whatever the case may be, that it's a disservice to you as well. And so we just want to do better. And so in order to do that, we're just going to take a quick step back.
I think we've been watching the morning show. And if y'all haven't seen that,
it's on Apple TV. It's great.
It's great. And definitely production there's so much that goes on behind the scenes of shows and whatnot. And when it's just two people, yes, that is yours. When it is just two people doing everything for every company, then which
something's gonna suffer.
Something's gonna drop. So here we are admitting that we're ready to make change, and we'll keep you guys posted. Follow us on our other again, Instagram, I think,
and follow us on Cannabis Closet 420, because we're not leaving. We're not going. We'll still jump up on there live every once in a while, so you'll get those alerts. Set your alerts to find out when we're coming on. And we'll keep you guys in the loop. We'll definitely post on Discord what we think is going to happen. And we might even request that, you come on Discord and tell us what you think, what you would like to see more of, or like a format that you enjoy, or things like that. We would love to hear what you think, so we can get some other perspectives besides our own. So, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes just talking to a wall of no comments is hard, though we know people are listening.
Yeah.
And probably talking to themselves out loud at home. I do that so much, but so
that's it.
See. Yeah, that's it. Hiatus.
Coming soon to a podcast near you. Podcast near you.
Holiday hiatus starts for Halloween.
Starts because I'm going to be traveling a little bit coming up, and it's just going to be better than just canceling every other show or whatever. So we're just going to, and then giving half-ass to the ones we don't cancel.
I've been posting fun articles to our Facebook page if anyone ever cares to go look at it. Everything that we talk about, we don't try, but we occasionally post some of our stories onto the Facebook page. So you can check those out.
I will look to start posting those on our Instagram. So
it gets spammy, I think, on the Facebook is why I don't do it all the time, like right away.
I can post it as a post on our Instagram, and then you could go to the link in our bio for the actual story. So I could do something like that. Let me work it out and let me see what I can do.
Yeah, something easy, not hard.
Yeah. So
or just go check out what we have posted and participate.
Well, I know a lot of people are still on Facebook, but it's not. Yes, a lot of people aren't doing Facebook.
I know. I think about that too. And it's like, the type of content, we do a lot of videos. You want to see a lot of videos. You want things read to you. I mean, I don't even read, but you read books right now. I just listen to them.
I do.
We
do both. And actually, we're listening as a family. We're listening to a book called Hollow Kingdom. And it's very interesting. It is about an end of world situation. And it's narrated by a crow. So
has it been picked up for a movie or anything?
I don't know, but it's super interesting. It's an interesting book so far. The animals all have these elaborate personalities and ways of thinking about their situation. The animals don't seem to be directly affected. They are affected in other ways, but they're not like directly affected by what's going on. So it's interesting. That's an interesting book. If you guys like to listen to or read books, I think it's a great book. It's a great book to listen to because the narrator does a really good job. And then I'm actually reading, what is that book called? Killers of the Flower Moon or something like that. Anyways, yes. It is about the deaths of Osage tribe members and the creation of the FBI. So the Osage people, during colonization, tribes were moved into these spaces, and the Osage chose this space of land that was like super rocky and like would be difficult to grow on or whatever. And they chose it because they knew white people wouldn't want to be on it. Mm-hmm. That's why they chose it. They were like, white people aren't going to come in and try to take your land. Mm-hmm. And so they're on this, I don't keep numbers like that in my head, but anyways, they have acreage for the tribe, and they strike oil. They strike black gold, and they become the richest people in the United States at the time. Right. And white people can't have that. So mysteriously, they started dying of different causes. Some were clearly murders, and some were like this mysterious wasting illness that was affecting people of the tribe. And specifically, this one particular family, so far, where I've gotten in the book, I'm about halfway through. So far, 3 sisters, I think. 3 sisters and a mother have died. And the sister that's still there she's sick. So it's okay. They all thought that she would die first because she had diabetes. Mm-hmm. But she's actually sick from something else. And what just happened? Okay. We might have blinked out for a second. Hopefully it reconnected us directly back. Because I just saw everything.
I know, like all
so crazy. Anyway, so that's a really good book. And I've just been trying to create a habit of like winding down this way. I I don't always do it, but I'm trying to like disconnect from the phone and then read a book, read a book. Like I'm trying not, I'm just trying to be smarter. And the more you read, the more your brain, wants to retain those things and do those things. So it's like a brain strengthening, basically. So yeah, it's those are what I recommend. And the one is we're listening to it on an audiobook, but yeah. So because we were sitting in the theater and the trailer came on, and so Kelly said, that they've made a movie out of that book. Yes. So the trailer came on in the movie theater recently. This was recently. And I was like, I recognize this story because I had started reading that book and then I just put it down. That's what I do. I start something and then I just be like, I'm bored with this. So I put it down, but I recognized like the storyline. And so I was like, oh, I have this book. And so I was like, go read the book. And I'm reading the book. It is not boring. It's not like the book is not the reason I put it down. My brain is the reason I put it down.
Right.
So yeah. So I highly recommend it. It's very interesting. It sounds like it should be only just a movie. It sounds like something somebody made up. Is real actual corruption that happens in our country still to this day.
Yeah.
Every single day.
It's worse.
Absolutely. They have more surveillance equipment. They have more ways to kill you now. It's worse. So she is an alien, this creep. I hope the movie does it justice too.
Who's directing it? I wonder who's directing it.
I don't know who's directing it. I know Leonardo DiCaprio is in it. That's all I remember about. He's directing it. And he actually plays Ernest, who is the husband of Molly, who is the sister that's still living at this point in time in the book.
What is it called?
It's called Killers of the Flower Moon. Killers. Yep.
2023 film.
Yeah. Martin Scorsese.
Oh, it's coming. Okay, so it's coming out. You said that.
So it's a super interesting book, and when you read the book,
Martin Scorsese is.
When you read the book, you're like, this really happened. Like, you're like, whoa, this sounds like something somebody scripted.
Yeah, I mean, you summed it all up, but it is Leonardo DiCaprio, Robert De Niro, Lily Gladstone.
I would say spoiler alert, but this book is like basically a written history. It's like
Brendan Fraser.
Yeah, I'm loving that he's back. I love that he's back. I'm so happy.
It is Scorsese and DiCaprio.
Yeah. So, yeah, hopefully they do the book justice. I think that they will. The trailer looked really interesting, and I'm excited to see it in the movie theater, but I want to finish the book first. So I got to get on it. But yeah, read a book.
I listen to a lot of books. Sometimes for me, that's better than driving. Or with music.
Yeah.
When I'm driving. What's up next? 444.
Yeah. So I started listening to that book, and then I made everybody else listen to it too. The Hollow Kingdom.
I posted that on our Facebook.
And it's hilarious. It's hilarious. And gross.
The reader, the person who's voicing it does an excellent job.
Yeah, and the writing is it's so descriptive.
Yeah.
And also maybe don't listen to it at dinner, but we did anyway. But if you are squeamish, don't. we listen to Dateline at dinner sometimes, so it's fine. But if you are squeamish in any way, don't. Or if you're eating something that is,
it's great for the drive. It
yeah,
was great
let's
for
yeah,
you know, traffic driving and
do
stuff.
it in the car.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's a good book, and I'm enjoying listening to it. I think I would enjoy reading it too. I think I would laugh out loud at the
right.
Yeah. So
I think that would be fun as a movie to see.
Yes, I think so. I think it would too. I think it would too. So we are still waiting on our guest to come, but I told him he could be late. It's not a big deal. We're gonna jump down to our next segment, which one of the things that we've kind of toyed with, or not toyed with, but discussed, I guess, is that we both choose like a topic in cannabis and then we'll talk about it. And if one of us talks about it for an hour, then the other can talk an hour the next show or whatever. So that's something that we were kind of discussing. And while I was kind of looking, they're kind of weird.
Oh, the would you rather?
Yeah.
Like, no. So I'm jumping ahead. Sorry, y'all.
So while we were discussing it, I was just like looking things up, and there's a website called All That's Interesting. So All That's Interesting, and I just wrote in cannabis. I can go in there, I'm sure, and write marijuana or something else and get a bunch of different stories.
Right.
But Karma, you're so gross. But I found, so I went to All Things Interesting. I typed in cannabis, and so then I found this story. I haven't read it yet, which is part of the reason we're going on hiatus, because I wanted to read it before I came on the show so I could talk just candidly about it. But we're gonna get first impressions right from the get. So, anyways, the title is "Experts Translate Early Christian Texts About Wizards That Didn't Make the Final Cut of the Bible."
Whose version? I mean, who's the editor too? Like, what and you have to have other volumes.
I have many questions. I have many questions. So these biblical texts, I'm not going to even go. Okay, your screen moved. These biblical texts, mostly written in ancient Greek or Latin, have now been translated in English and for the first time compiled into a single book. The texts from the Bible as we know it today were first canonized by the church at the end of the 4th century. But before then, hundreds of other religious texts circulated across Christendom. More than 300 Christian apocryphal, sure, texts that weren't included in the final version. See, this is why I should have read it first. That weren't included in the final version of the Bible are known as the Bible is known to exist today. New England translations of these leftover texts were recently published by Eerdmans Publishing, and they contain some surprising tales.
Wow. Okay.
So, New Testament. The book features hundreds of texts that were once held to be true by Christian followers. Integral in spiritual life. I'm trying to get to the story. What's in the Bible? So they're just still talking about it. Here we go. They were sourced from places across Europe and Egypt, mostly written in ancient Greek or Latin, and some of the texts are of dark wizardry and demons. Once we see you. Give us a second. Our guest has arrived in the green room. One such story follows a character named Bishop Basil. Basil? Probably.
There's a yes.
It's Basil. Probably Basil, who is spelled Basil. Whatever. Do what you do.
Say how you tomato.
We'll ask him later about it. Anyways, who allegedly lived between 329 to 379 AD. Do the math on that, ladies and gentlemen. That's a little tiny short life. The bishop is approached by the Virgin Mary in his dreams, where she tells him to find an image of her that is not made by human hands. She instructs him to place her image on top of 2 columns inside her church located outside of the city of Philippi. But at the temple, the bishop finds himself and his men fighting against a group of wizards who knew diabolical magic and wanted to keep him from completing his quest. Fortunately, the bishop has the Virgin Mary on his side. Those who did this evil deed of impertinent magic, behold, they are blind. Grasping, she says to him in another dream. When he awakes, the Virgin Mary places her own image atop the columns, and a stream emerges that heals people. The tale ends with the evil wizards being literally swallowed whole by the earth. Okay, I have so much to say about this story. Let me start with, didn't she ask the man to do it, and then the man couldn't do it, so she had to go do it herself? She said, fuck it, I'll just go do it myself. Just, what do you mean wizards? Did he make that up so that he could be like, I couldn't put your thing? And then she was like, fine, wizards. And then she went and did it herself. No, but like, why? This is a good story. I want to know more about these wizards.
So that'll be the next on your book list.
Tell me more about the wizards. Maybe how about this? How about we find these texts and we read them, and then we write our own book called Tell Me More About the Wizards. And that's all because that's got all kinds of shit in it. It's not just the wizards, it's got other shit too.
It
right?
does. It tells another story of Peter, who encounters angelic beings revealed to be demons, their true form uncovered after Peter had drawn a circle around them and performed some sort of anti-demon chant. See, and that's what they don't want you to know, right? They're like,
what's the chant?
Right.
Why are you gatekeeping the chant?
Not even that, but just this whole text. Like, okay, so people are like, oh, the Bible is just stories. Yeah, it is stories. It's also these stories because people didn't just dream dragons out of the air. Or
people didn't just dream dragons out of the air.
They were real.
Put it on a t-shirt. On the back, it says they are real.
They are real.
People just didn't dream dragons out of the air. They are real. That's the quote.
After the demons are revealed, they banter with Peter about the mistreatment of the Lord against their
They banter with him?
Against their kind companion. This author, or there's a, author.
Y'all. If these 2 stories don't tell you that men made stories up for the Bible for whatever the purpose, I don't know what will convince you. I don't.
This is fun.
She said a wizard. Really? A wizard? I'll just do it myself. Okay, dude. Okay. What? Okay. Sorry. We're coming.
I don't even know how to. I mean, this whole sentence right here is. I don't know.
It says, "You have partiality of Christ, for which reason he chastises us, but he spares you when you repent. Therefore, when he leads a prostitute and a tax collector and a denier and a blasphemer and a slanderer into his kingdom, then he ought to gather all of us with you." Is that the chant?
Meaning quit judging people, fuckers, because Jesus would hang with everybody.
He would. He's been proven to do so.
Yes. So
these are the
we'll
things.
Post. I mean, we can post this one on.
We're definitely going to post this one.
And we are going to find this book. It is called The New Testament, Apocrypha.
Oh, I hope it's
more non-canonical scriptures.
I hope it's a
volume 2.
Oh.
And this article was by, just we'll give her credit, Natasha Ishak.
And it was written in 2020.
In 2020, she had time to think about this.
Listen here
and research this.
Is this an audiobook? Because I don't want to read it. Didn't your sister just listen to the Bible on audiobook?
She did.
We had this whole conversation. I was telling somebody I was reading something, and they were like, I've read that book or something like that. And then when I was reading that book, my friend decided to read the Bible. And I was like, excuse me? And they were like teenagers. So I was like, it is a very interesting book. It's a very interesting book.
Comments are hilarious.
Yeah. The book is interesting. It's full of all the things you can make a movie out of. It's got a lot of intense action and violence. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a gruesome book.
It is. And stop it.
People sell their daughters in it. Did you sell your daughter?
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
And sorry, that's not the proper term anymore, right? If you want to do that, go somewhere else, please.
What is she doing?
Just itching.
Go away.
Go away.
Okay, so before we get to our next segment, you're going to post that. We're going to bring our guest on. And there's another story about Mary using cannabis in her anointing oils. So like things we could, I just thought that would be like some interesting topics of conversation rather than bringing you guys headlines all the time. Go look in Normal. Get your own headlines. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. A little bit. I'm kidding. It's got Myrtle. I was like going to say both. It's got murder, betrayal, incest, miracles, and casting of demons into a pile of pigs. Dude.
And angels.
You can make a whole series out of it, which people probably have. There's probably a series on the Bible. Anyways,
there is.
We're going to bring our friend Jacob in next. We're going to bring our friend Jacob in, and we're going to continue the show with here. Add to the stage. Ooh, it's all fancy.
Add to the stage.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Sorry I'm late.
No, you're fine.
Just in time.
Listen,
I was zooming through, I got on my spaceship and there was traffic the whole way, the entire time,
Yeah.
Of course, always.
Of course. Well, welcome to the show. I'm
excited.
We actually just started working with Jacob, and we're gonna try to do some collabs here soon and do some work together. But one of the reasons that we wanted to bring you on is because we were talking so much about upcoming regulations in Colorado, and I was like, you know what? Let's just go talk about this in front of all the people.
Yeah,
so people know what we're talking. Like, we can't just keep this information to ourselves. And
exactly.
And you were literally kind of preaching the same thing that we talk about on our show on a regular basis. I was going to say daily, like we're here every day. But we say, you've got to get involved. You have to get involved.
I agree. It's a battle, but it's a necessary battle that we all have to participate in.
Right.
So if we all do it together, maybe we can make more fun of it. I think even someone said okay, let's have a watch party for these shits, for these Zooms, where we can all hang out and watch it together with blunts in hand and really understand what it means for us as consumers, as business owners, and as the future of cannabis.
Can we do that on Discord?
I think you can do anything.
I think we can.
Yeah. Discord, you could totally do that.
Yeah. So something I didn't even think about when we were talking the other day is that, we could do stuff like that and we could gather people together. We already have a Discord set up, established.
Very nice.
People not all from Colorado, but like people from other states too. And it's, we loved it. So we'll make sure you have that link and you can invite people in if you want. And we can absolutely make a meeting room for this specific topic so that we can go in and talk about it and like be prepared with a plan when the meeting happens, what's going to be said, what we need to address, how do we need to talk about it, kind of things.
Yeah, and that's great idea. That can even it brings it better with the public too, because on Discord with all the various options of being able to do different chat rooms, everybody can have their platform and be able to speak to get their ideas down. And once we have all that and we have that collective knowledge from everybody in the community, whether you have a business or you're trying to start a business or you just love going to events and consuming, I think that having that platform where everybody can put their ideas, then we'd be able to get a general sense of what everybody would like and be able to bring that to our council members and present something with a clear, articulate way,
right,
in order to get our points across. Unfortunately, just running out and saying, "Hey, I want to smoke," is not gonna get what we want done. We got to play the game. Yeah, put them in a stronghold.
Because we've just shown. Some people might disagree with me on this, but most people won't. That we've shown a clear example of, hey, go ahead and legalize, not actually doing what it said it was going to do, or what they lied and said. This is what this is for, and so people signed the petition, and then people are like, legal pot, great. But it actually leaves a lot of people out, and there's a lot of problematic things happening with it. So
agreed.
We're not going to get into it today, Missouri. You guys have had enough time on the show. But yeah, it's not just, hey, legalize. It's like, really, we have to talk about how do we want it legalized? What do we want those laws to look like as a community and as consumers? And how are they going to benefit us? I mean, we know that the taxes, right, are supposed to benefit the state. What is that money going to? We want to make sure we even know those things and help and try to control those things. Like, where does that tax money get allotted to? And one of the things that we talk about a lot, and this happens in every single state. So it doesn't even matter what state you're in. Listen up. This happens in every single state. We've allotted this percentage to this percentage to this thing, this percentage to this thing. Oh, look how much is left over. We're going to put that in the general fund.
And then they brag about the millions and billions that's being made. And
then I'm still driving over potholes in Colorado.
Yep.
Schools are still not up to par. And
I mean, just in 2003 alone, from January to August, we've accumulated $187,515,080 from taxes in the cannabis community here in Colorado from the businesses. And, following where they spend that money, where it's being allocated to, is very much what we as a community are responsible for doing.
Exactly.
As it stands right now, what we're doing is we're entrusting these laws and these written languages into possibly potential members who are not even smoke consumers.
They're not part of our community. We've said this over and over and over again. They don't understand us. They don't understand our medical needs. They don't understand our personal needs. They don't understand our plant. They don't understand how it works.
They don't need to even understand the numbers. And here's the thing: is we're going to start getting squeezed as they start to tax and fee us out.
Yes.
One end as consumers and as patients. On the other end, they're also taxing and regulating and overfeeing the producers and the license holders to the point where again, it's not affordable. It's not worth it. It changes the way the business of it is done, and it changes our culture. Again, disrespecting the plant, but wanting to squeeze all the dollars out of it. And that's where we need to be paying attention.
Yeah.
And we definitely, here in Colorado, we definitely have, our administration has definitely lost sight of the original agenda, which was to regulate cannabis in the same form that alcohol is regulated.
Correct.
And unfortunately, they think that they're doing better and they use that term in the meeting on Monday, that we must do better than alcohol, but you're not doing better. You're just being more restrictive. So, there's a two different language word there.
Right. Yeah. So let's talk about that. You were in the meeting on Wednesday. It was Wednesday of last week.
Monday.
Monday of last. Sorry. Yeah, it was Monday. It was this week. It was Monday of this week.
This week.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
You don't know.
Skipping already, right?
So on Monday you were in the meeting and they were talking about Colorado hospitality. Or
they were
on the agenda.
So on the agenda, they had various things from adding in a embargo act so that they can have the ability to stop businesses who are out of compliance and then try to like do illegal things as well. They want to be able to hold cannabis for investigations and things like that, rather than some of these not compliant establishments just destroying the product and then therefore causing more problems. They also jumped into things such as like delivering and transportation rules. But by the time we got to 4:30, 5 o'clock, it wasn't until 4:40 that we started hearing anything about hospitality. Right. Anything about the agenda. And under hospitality, they're coming up with some extreme changes. One of the ones that they spent almost 2 hours on was the word ensure. Spent almost an hour and a half to 2 hours talking about the word ensure, because one of the proposed changes is that they want to ensure businesses like the hospitality lounges will have to make sure people go home safely. But at that point, you're impeding on people's privacy, their rights. How do you ensure somebody gets home safely without it being a cost on the business?
Right.
And at one point, at what point do you say, well, we don't regulate alcohol by making sure somebody goes home? In fact, we'll let you go home with a whole bottle, and you can go right next door and purchase at the liquor store as well. And then if you go home, you can drive with that as well.
Right.
So for them, for what some of the things that we were hearing at the meeting, it just seemed like a lot of a lot of like, for lack of a better phrase, it was a lot of old people who are worried about things that are non-existent. Like back in the day, Pokemon cards, oh my God, they're going to make my kid just satanic. These are not feasible fears. And this is exactly what I experienced at the meeting. It just,
yeah.
Right. One of the other points was that they're worried about overconsumption. So one of my platforms for our community is to kind of like find ways for us to utilize the real science, like CBD products and how they interact with THC, in order to show that we're not ever over consuming. Most of our events, they end early. They're not staying past 11 o'clock.
It's really
right. It's very much a misconception.
When I see what consuming actually is when they're consuming alcohol in conjunction with whatever they're consuming there.
They brought that up in the meeting too. They brought the Denver police force was there to present a PowerPoint showing the increase in correlation of marijuana and accidents. They did have on there the top alcohol and marijuana, but the thing that they never showed was what is the duration of the accident from the last time that they consumed cannabis. If it's more than a few hours, then that's dissipated out of their system, the effects. The fact that they're being tested for THC doesn't necessarily mean that there was THC symptoms at the time of the accident.
Correct.
And these are the type of like incorrect research that is being done on regulations, and they're using this as proof for many, many different changes to the law. And like I said, one of the biggest things is that they're trying to propose, and I use the word propose because that we're still in those stages. There's nothing set in stone yet.
Yeah.
But they're proposed more restricted more to lower the limits. So no longer can can you go into a hospitality lounge where you're meant to share with your friends, you're meant to relax, you're meant to enjoy for hours on end if you like. They want to limit what you already have limited. So instead of 10 milligrams per edible, it would be reduced to even more, so 0.5, at which most people that does nothing for.
Yeah, like,
you know.
Wow.
Yeah, for the average heavy user consumer. Let me rephrase that.
Correct.
Right. At this point, is there anything like, can we still contribute? Like, I'm looking at the
oh yeah,
the state's website. The next meeting's coming up. You know, do you know where we're at with that and how people can contribute their comment?
Yes.
Right.
So on their website, if you go to the fastest way I'm able to find this is typing into Google Colorado Cannabis Work Group. From there, you'll get two links from colorado.gov for Cannabis Sustainability Work Group. That is the group that is writing the changes to current existing laws. Then there is another group called the Social Equity Program Advisory Work Group. They are trying to enact changes to the law to help those that are supposed to be in low income, natives, people who've been affected by cannabis directly by going to jail, getting citation, at any of the sort, to be able to build a business in the cannabis space. However, these two work groups do not work in conjunction together, as far as my research has proven. They do their own bi-monthly meetings, and as far as I'm seeing, they don't put together their thoughts. As soon as you get to that colorado.gov and you find that sustainability work group, you'll be able to find out when their next meetings are. So like our next meeting is September 28th from 1 to 2 p.m. With that, you'll be able to get online and start submitting written comments in order to give your opinion on the subjects that they are agendaing at the time of the meeting. For our agenda to be able to get something on the docket that gives us a free space to consume cannabis, we have to work together as a group to create our own advisory work group publicly.
Right.
Where we would be able to take what exists in the law currently and change that to our language, such as, some of the language they use are like industrial hemp. Most products can be regular non-industrial hemp. There's language like that. There's language such as referring to people as consumers instead of businesses. That puts a strain on being able to open third-party stuff in collaborations.
Yeah.
And it goes further than that. But the way to do that is there's a form on the Colorado Department of Revenue called the 2023 Marijuana Enforcement Division Suggested Revision to Rules. That is the form on their website. That is the form that we would need to put down what specifically rules we are trying to change, what we would like them changed to, et cetera, et cetera. And by all of us doing that and them getting a flood box of these new changes in like we're all saying the same thing, we can definitely attack this and we can definitely get something to where it's seen. Now, there's no guarantee that this will pass, that this will get, because we are working against some of these representatives, but the fight is there.
Yeah.
Could you share those links to us in the email? I did post one on our page that has some of the work group dates coming up, but it doesn't have that September 28th one. It has it has the one that just passed and the one coming up in October. And
that's the thing. It's very hard to find that because on the page that they have the September meeting that we just passed, it's not on the same page as the one that's happening on the 28th.
There is a written comment submission form link. I didn't click on it. but that's the one that I put onto our page.
Yeah. And as well, I'll be posting all these links on my Instagram as well. LEL Mile High. That way it'll be under there in the bio so that anybody can access these and be able to kind of keep up with this and as much as they'd like. But it does take being actively looking at this stuff. And I'm not I'm still learning. I'm still going through it to try to figure all this out. There's a lot of people out there who are doing the same. And as much as as much as we work together, we can narrow down how to do this better. Do you want me to speak out some of the links right now? I'm sending them through email at this time.
Yeah, if you send them to our email, we can post them on our pages and stuff.
Okay, cool. I got you right.
Yeah. So yeah, the biggest reason we wanted you to come on was to, yes, talk about that, but also just to emphasize, you guys, we have to work together. We have to do this.
Yes.
We have to be involved.
To talk.
Because they will literally about everything, not just about cannabis, because your government will literally just make laws that you don't even know about. You don't even have to say on. You don't even know.
Right. Speaking on that, this is the September Monday meeting that just happened was the first public announcement to take comment on the hospitality changes of these proposed bills. Yet on October 12th, which is 2 weeks away, it passes or gets proposed to pass to Congress, or our legislation to be legalized. So if nobody speaks up and we don't force them, which there is a way for us to stop them from being able to submit this bill, we can prevent those laws from being placed in. Now, it is a battle, obviously, but we are at war every day with the cannabis community, with the cannabis community in conjunction to make these laws work for us, And I believe I'm ready to. For one, am ready to fight till the day I die. Whether we're losing or not, we're not really losing. We made strides now than we ever have in the past decade. And we're moving towards that. The more that these individuals may or may not be getting pushed out of office.
Yeah, they're not getting pushed out of office.
No, not yet, but we will get there.
I'm going to tell you my prediction on 2024.
Yeah.
Okay. That's unfortunate, but literally America is tired right now. Y'all, I get it.
Yeah.
Y'all tired. But you really, and our listeners, I would say a majority, if not all of our listeners are going to vote. And we stress voting in every election, every single one. Right. But also, hopefully we reach people who are not sure if they were going to vote or not. It's important. It's really important. It's important at your lowest levels,
local,
the most local elections.
Our people, our representatives, they're supposed to represent us.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And they don't. Mitch McConnell, for example, recently shut down again in the middle of a conference. His batteries just
falling asleep. Yeah.
And
it's crazy.
How is this person still allowed to run the country? What? And he does. Make no mistake about it. Mitch McConnell runs this country. And how are these people still allowed to hold elected office when they should be drooling in a nursing home or something?
We're enjoying their billions or whatever that they've amassed.
Yeah.
Because they can't let that go. But
I mean, how do your batteries die twice in less than a month? I mean, I'm just saying. And then you still get to keep your your position.
Yeah, I mean, literally one of our Congress, House of Chairs, or House of Representatives, sorry, one of the people on there literally just filed for like dementia medication. They literally have dementia. They signed over their life rights and decisions to their daughter, and they're still making decisions for us.
Dianne Feinstein just gave her daughter.
Yeah, there you go, Dianne Feinstein. Yep, that's her.
Her face is falling off. Happy 420 on the West Coast.
Happy 420, guys.
Her face is starting to fall off like one of those hound dogs that you see in the park with the like drooly eyes. I should do that because it's gonna be me too. Your face is gonna stink like that. Don't do it.
Oh my God, just
she should not be like in any, and she's on the other side of this coin. You know what I'm saying? She's a Democrat. She should also not be in office. She should also not be in office.
None
and
of them should be.
Don't get
no. I mean, anybody else with a regular job, if they were caught sleeping on the job or not cognitive or anything, you'd be out of there. You'd be gone.
Gently sent off with a cake and balloons.
Not even gently. Let me tell you guys.
Yeah,
I'm about to tell you guys the most crazy thing I ever saw. So I used to work for, I'm just going to leave it undisclosed. I used to work for this person, and and there was this woman that worked there as well. And her name was, I believe her name was Shirley. And she was very elderly. She walked like bent in half. She was very
elderly. My God.
And she was like one of the wild people, but she was fucking up. She was fucking up. Like shit was not alphabetical. I was getting blamed for it. I was like, I know how my alphabets work. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
I know.
So anyways, and then she was fucking up some other shit too. Like that was like important shit. And so one of the other people in the office who had been there a long time and just kind of just spoke her mind went to our boss and was like, she's really, it's time for her, you know, for her to retire. She's really fucking shit up. Basically. She didn't say it like that, but she basically said she's really fucking shit up. So our boss calls Miss Shirley into the office. She had been working for him for like 20 plus years, I think. Something in there. She'd been there for a very long time. Okay. He sits her down and he says, Miss Shirley, it's time. And that's it. That was the
man.
I was like, pardon me? I was like, are you for real? You just said that? And he said, yes.
Like if you're taking a dog out to get done for in the woods.
This is it.
Oh my God. This is it. It's time.
Not a party for her, not a donut, not a
20-something years.
Cake, not a nothing. I can't say not a nothing. She might have got like a little severance, whatever package. I don't know how that worked out, but maybe not, because no offense, dude, but you know, you're cheap and you know that.
Yeah.
You'll probably never hear.
Yeah, I really believe any employee that doesn't take consideration that there's somebody that lasted that long and built their company alongside them like that is invaluable. That's crazy. I would have gone all out. Here's a Rolls Royce for you.
I felt sad for her, you know, but I was new around those parts, and so I didn't say shit. But I felt sad for her. Well, I did say shit to him. I was like, "Oh my God!" I was like,
"Oh my God!"
Wow.
Oh man.
No, they don't give. You. And they just want to be, these people just want to have money in their pocket. You're right. If they were at any other job, they would have been already taken out to pasture.
Yeah.
What did that TikToker call him? She said, what she said,
there were two. I don't know.
Half alive corpse or something like that. It was hilarious.
Yeah, he's like a reanimated zombie. Like he doesn't even have a brain.
His
like
electronics are breaking down, and
like
it's time to retire. Like,
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Why would you build a robot that looks like that?
I don't know.
Like Mitch McConnell?
Yeah. Maybe it's alien.
I mean, that'd be a great Halloween gag, though, if to have him out there, you know, forgetting to give the candy because, you know,
just freezing.
Glitches.
Yeah.
You take the mask off and you have an alien mask underneath it.
Because it has metal underneath it.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be perfect. It's all just sliding off like that.
Excuse me, pardon me. Extra disclaimer. This is complete satire. I do not think that Mitch McConnell is a lizard person for legal reasons. Thank you. Yours truly. Wu-Tang for life.
The proper vernacular is scaly reptile.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Anyways, these are the people rules. These are the people that are making rules for you every day of your life. These rules are being made
every day.
People that don't want anything good for you. You know what they wanted? What we watched the other day? I said it was Out of Time, but it's not Out of Time. It's called In Time.
In Time.
It's called
the one where they
with Justin Timberlake.
Yeah.
And
with Justin Timberlake. That was a good one.
I may have recalled this movie on the show before, but the first time I saw it in India, and there were no English and there was no subtitles. It was not in English. It was dubbed and it was no subtitles.
That must have been more intense.
It was very confusing, but I was like, oh shit. And I figured out what was going on. It's intense, but think about your money as your time. Okay. And they keep increasing the amount of time you have to give them in order to get the basic things that you need in life.
Right.
And you have to work. So I saw a TikTok the other day where it was a collaboration of a bunch of TikToks where people were like, I make a lot of money. I make $80,000 a year and I'm still living paycheck to paycheck. And I don't understand why. Because there's no cap on rent. The mortgage rates, the rates continue to increase higher and higher. So it's like, it doesn't matter if the bubble bursts and the housing market crashes, right? It doesn't matter how low those fucking prices go if the interest rates don't down, right? You still have to have $500,000 or more to buy a house. Okay. I'm not even fucking exaggerating with you right now. Look at me in my face. I'm not fucking exaggerating with you right now. If you if you don't have property to sell to get money or to money out, then you're not going to be buying a house anytime soon. Just to be
right.
If you don't have
that's facts, because it's over $500,000 more average home. The average person makes less than 40 grand a year. Correct. And that's not that they're taking the average. Like, you're not even considering the low income average. Like, most people I know growing up, we never had more than $6,000 a year, $13,000 a year.
Right. For $80,000 to be the paycheck to paycheck middle class is insanity. It's insane. Yep. Okay. And it's because there's no checks and balances on these capitalist corporations that are just gouging us for every single penny that we make. It doesn't matter how much money you make, because they're just going to charge you more. They're just going to charge you more. And if they know,
because they have no cap in America, there's no real law that says you have to stop doing that. Like, as well, you can raise your prices 20 times throughout the year. It doesn't matter. And in some countries they cap that. They're like, no, you can't do it so many times.
Yeah. There's so many people that I know, like I personally know, that are struggling to make that rent payment every month because getting called into their rental office like on a yearly basis and getting these exorbitant rent increases. And some of my friends and some of my family are getting increases less than a year apart, like 6-month rent increase.
Oh my God.
It's insane. It's insane the way that not being regulated and not being handled. People. And so we were talking about the movie In Time. A spoiler alert, this was a movie from a long time ago. If you haven't seen it, too fucking bad. I'm about to tell you.
Yeah. You're missing out, people.
You stop aging at 25. Hallelujah. You don't know how old anybody is until you talk to them about their life experience. Your clock starts when you turn 25 and you have 24 hours. So when you turn 25, you have to have a job. You have to be able to make an income, right? The most poorest people have to collect, the children have to collect time on little devices because they can't collect it themselves. They have to collect it on little devices, and then they give it. It's like in a slum situation. They give it to somebody, and then it's distributed throughout, right? So those are in the poorest situations. The whole point is that the rich are hoarding all of the time to live forever, and in order for them to do that, then the poor have to stay poor. They have to stay poor, and they have to die in order for.
And that's. Yeah, that goes exactly into our real life situations. The way that our economy works, the way that America works, like people think that we're, and this is it's only something I found out as I researched and my mind got blown. But this country is not for citizens. The United States is not for citizens. It's for people to build a business. So everything they've written is there to help a small business become a large corporation and get, like, in Washington,
put money into.
If you have a business here in Colorado, you can station your business in Washington and never pay taxes. By throwing your money from this business in Colorado where you would have to pay taxes and selling all those assets to your own self in Washington, and then you don't pay no taxes on anything. This is what McDonald's has done for years. This is what Amazon does. There's literal buildings in Washington that are all businesses. They're used as an address, but it looks like an apartment building.
I want you to tell you guys something. I want you guys to look at me in my face when I say this. And then y'all want to complain about paying somebody who works in a kitchen all fucking day long, listening to your complaints about a shoddy ass burger that they didn't make. It's not their fault it tastes like that. You want to tell me that they don't deserve a livable fucking wage when McDonald's ain't even fucking paying taxes on their business? Is that what you want? Fucking look at me in my eye and you want, I don't want my burger to cost $3 more. Bitch, It doesn't have to. These corporations make so much fucking money that they could literally afford to pay a livable wage. And we're not even talking about $15 an hour anymore. We're past that conversation.
Like $20, $30 an hour.
Okay. Yeah. That conversation is a 2015 conversation. We're in 2023. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you're telling me that these companies that have not paid taxes on their billion-dollar corporations for years can't afford to pay a livable wage to their employees, so their employees don't have to be on state assistance, so their employees can afford to pay rent, so their employees can afford public transportation or actual transportation that they have, and housing and all that shit.
Food.
Are you telling me? You're telling me that McDonald's can't do that?
And bringing that back to the way these laws are being changed for our cannabis community, it's the same exact thing that's happening. They're starting to charge more money for businesses to even get started, to still run, to continue, when they could be just finding your money in other forms or reducing it so that we have more businesses so that we make more money. I mean, you're restricting it to like 2 categories of cannabis types of employment, and the sub jobs that those produce are not very much, and at that they don't produce very much money. I know lots of bud tenders, lots of growers, lots of trimmers, they got out of the cannabis community. I mean, the cannabis business, because they're making nothing. You can go to McDonald's and flip burgers and make more money.
Correct.
You know, and this is what's horrible.
But so again, you're telling me, you're looking me straight in my face and telling me I've got to risk my life and my career every single day when I go to work, and I don't deserve to get paid a livable wage?
Right. And that's the bullcrap bullshit
for all of this money and all of this weed. And I don't deserve a livable wage.
Yeah.
And those that don't know, if they're out there, they don't know what it's like being in a grow op or a dispensary that's regulated by these businesses. If you just walk outside from after working and you go take your break and you go smoke in your car, or you go to a corner, whatever the case may be, if you have plant material on your shoe that gets tracked outside, you as an employee can be liable, not on and the business that you're there. So like if an investigator just happened to see it and it's on the side of your car, well, now they suspect you of transporting illegally, etc., and you can be hit. It's not likely that it would, but it's a super big possibility, and it has happened in the past.
Say it has.
I have had a run
and people.
It has happened. You know, I was going home from work. I used to be a trimmer. I had plant material literally all over me.
Of course.
Trichomes all over my hair.
Of course.
Forearms. And they wanted to say that I almost, in Colorado, almost went to jail because of that. And it's like, how can I, if I was covered in alcohol from working at the bar and you smelled it, there, you wouldn't take me to jail because breathalyzer. But that doesn't matter, because you most likely a cop wouldn't be, they'd be like, whatever.
Yeah.
Oh no, plant material.
Plant material.
It's the same.
It's insane.
Like same thing too last night where we were talking. Okay, so people were smoking outside, fine, fair. But
right.
But you should have been smoking like inside of these vans, right? Because Colorado doesn't have a public consumption law. Well, they do.
Open
You're
air,
You're not supposed to be out in the open air, right? So, so we were getting in these vans, and the vans had to just like what would you say? Every 30 minutes, they had to move forwards and backwards.
Yeah. So in the law, there's no restriction on the distance, just the time. Every 30 minutes, but it doesn't specify distance. So you can move an inch and then move it back.
And you can't be parked, so like the vehicle has to stay going and all that stuff, right? So
which contributes to carbon monoxide into the atmosphere.
Exactly. So it's such a ridiculous thing when like you see new states coming on and they have these open consumption laws.
Yeah,
they're bringing on also, and they're also and they're also bringing on more public consumption spaces. So Colorado makes it difficult to have a hospitality space, and that's what we're talking about. That's so they make it very difficult to have it. So there's only there's two. One can't smoke inside of. You can only smoke vaporizer or concentrate. You can't smoke anything on flame.
Yep.
And it's just I don't know. I have a couple of problems with cannabis gatherings. One of my biggest, I know that maybe not a lot of people will hear this, but I hope that the word gets around. I do not like going to a cannabis consumption party gathering event where alcohol is still glorified. Yeah.
Or an option. I agree.
We aren't allowed in their bars, so as a substance, not as a human. But we can't be smoking in their bars, right? And so why they're not offering gummies up at the counter, right? So why then should they get the luxury of more sales on their end, first of all, and the contribution to the alcohol industry? And also, if this is a user-friendly event, I want to be around cannabis consumers. I don't want to be people who are drinking alcohol, because that's why I chose to come, because I don't drink alcohol. You know,
and there's a very big social and behavioral difference when you go to an alcohol, somebody who's been consuming alcohol and somebody who's been consuming cannabis.
Yes.
In most cases, alcohol is high energy. It's abrasiveness, you know, testosterone, ego, whatever you might want to call it. Like, you get a lot of that. And with cannabis, most of the time you get none of that. You get very chill environments. You get community people. You get hugs. Yeah, I get hugs when I meet somebody who's super stoned. They're like, hey, you know. Yeah. I mean, that's the best part of the community, is that it's so inviting.
And food,
you know, and food. That's the reason why I'm a culinary.
What was that food truck called last night? It was so good. Those chicken and waffles did not need a stick.
Mama's
nice.
Mama's something. It's a food truck. The chicken and waffles were so good. I heard.
I have it right. I have it on my phone here.
I heard the tacos were amazing as well.
Yeah.
They had chicken and waffles on a stick. Y'all don't need the stick. And also, I didn't even use the syrup. I didn't even think about that syrup. I just scarfed it down. The waffles were so good on their own. The chicken was so flavorful. It was awesome. A nice, good combination. Didn't even need the syrup.
Yeah.
And also good, and see that those kind of like comments about food are those kind of comments about food are exactly why Colorado is missing out on like a very crucial part of the cannabis experience, which is what I built my business on, which is the culinary experience infusing with cannabis, such as those chicken and waffles, to elevate that with certain terpenes in cannabis and bring that butter into the entree. Now we have both of our worlds colliding into one, where food brings good people together and cannabis brings good people together. And that's the whole ideal that we are missing in Chicago, New York, Virginia, Texas. Even Texas is doing culinary events, opening shops, cafes, things like that, where infusion is an essential part of the culture. And I believe we are missing out because we have representatives who are scared that mixing some cannabis with a drink or a food is going to make you go crazy.
Yeah.
And that's just complete ridiculousness.
That's crazy talk.
Yeah. The most crazy. But like, to hear those kind of comments, that's amazing. Like, food is what brings us happiness. It's life for humans.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
It's also what brings people together. It's where the stories come from, and it's really, I think food's really communal. Just how I feel about cannabis is very communal. I feel like it's, of course I use cannabis by myself and on my own, but I prefer when it's a communal thing where I'm just like in a group. I do play. I told you last night we do play by COVID rules still around here, but still, to be in the environment where others are there and smoking and we're just joking around and telling stories and getting to know each other, I really love that kind of space. And I think food brings that too. So of course, they go together. You got to get the munchies. You got to get some good food. And that food truck was on point last night.
Yeah, it was.
What was it? You said you have their name. Did you say it? Did I miss?
Oh, yeah. I gotta do the signing now real quick.
Oh, sorry. No, don't. Like, I could maybe also look for it.
Yeah, it's in my picture, so I'd have to jump down.
We'll go check it out, and we'll let you guys know. It's like Mama's something. It was
so
good.
Ladies, props. Like, they were hustling.
Oh man,
they were just.
You know what? Maybe
food, like
right out the door.
Yeah,
craziness. So on to the next. We are in the beginning, middle-ish. No, beginning, because it was September 15th, right? What's today? The 20th?
The beginning.
It's the beginning of Libra season, first of all. We're at the cusp right now. Virgos, I hope you had a good run of it. Celebrating Latino Heritage Month, starting September 15th. Latino Heritage Month began in the United States as a week of observation in 1968 called Hispanic Heritage Week. I remember when I was a kid, that's what it was still called too. But in 1988, which is around the time that I was a child, it was expanded to cover a 30-day period starting September 15th and ending October 15th. So it started as a week and then it turned into a month. You guys know I have feelings about Heritage Months, right? I think that, again, if we get together as communities, that we should just want to learn about each other because we want to learn about each other. Instead, we have to be like reminded to remember other people.
That other people exist, and it's okay. We watched the Addams Family cartoon today, and that's a prime example of just, again, accepting people for whatever they want to choose.
Who and what they choose to be.
Yes. Yeah. The timing of Latino Heritage Month coincides with the Independence Day celebrations of several Latin American nations, Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, and Nicaragua. Those 5 nations declared their independence from Spain on September 15th, 1821.
Hell yeah.
So
that's right.
So learn about people that if you want to get to know somebody that is in your apartment or building or whatever. Learn about people and their achievements that don't happen to be rich white men, who most of them stole those achievements. I'm gonna be real with you. They didn't invent none of that shit. So it was probably invented by a person of color. Yeah, that they may or may not have owned. I'm just saying.
Stolen ideas all over the place, or credit where credit is not due.
But
normally that's
take these times to get to know a heritage that is not your own, to understand communities that are not your own. One of the things that I've done in my life that I could say I have a love-hate relationship with is that I joined the Navy when I was in my 20s. And I loved a lot of my experiences, but of course I hated being in this organization as like a bureaucratic. Anyways, it's a thing. So, it's like you're proud of your achievements, but you don't love who you worked for, kind of thing. Kind of like that. So when I was in the Navy, I got to travel a little bit. When I was a child, my parents were in the Army, so also I got to travel when I was a kid. But I got to travel a little bit in the Navy to different countries and meet different people of different cultures and like learn about what they felt was, maybe. Sorry, she's looking at my would you rathers. Learn about what they think is maybe a little offensive, or what they think is common practice, and kind of thing, so that you kind of learn to, first of all, take yourself a little less seriously, but also you get to learn that your perspective is not the only perspective. So when I'm in Japan, I learned about Japanese culture, and I learned how they greeted each other and what would be offensive as a hand gesture. Same when I was in Greece. If, you hold your hand a certain way towards somebody, it's really offensive, and it's actually like a curse or whatever, like a curse word or whatever. So that kind of stuff. So what was I getting at here? What I was getting at was like, just, take the time that we have decided to give different cultures and learn something about them. Because it's important.
It's important because
very much so.
We all contribute to
Having a different perspective can change your life.
Yeah. Being open to everyone's perspective can also be life-changing.
Mm-hmm.
And
So like that.
I don't know. On the next note.
So this show is brought to you, of course, by CQ LLC and Queen Kitty Seltzer. Pop this kitty, put it in your mouth. Best thing you'll put in your mouth all day. Get you a Queen Kitty Seltzer. www.queenkittyseltzer.com is where you can order yours. We do deliver into the Denver area, and we do ship to most states. Those states that we don't ship to are listed on our website. So yeah, pop this kitty, put it in your mouth. You love the kitty, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I love the kitty. That was great. It's always it's always good on the lips. It's always good going down.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. So perfect. We have, of course, as always, 3 would you rathers. So if you have stepped away from your computer, I hope that you have made your way back to your phones and your computers so that you can answer the would you rathers, because they are great. We couldn't leave you hanging with some like mediocre would you rathers. And so I brought the juice on this one. And they're pretty good ones. They're pretty good ones. So everybody get back to your computers. I hope everybody participates in this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
This one's not so hard.
So would you rather break your cell phone or break your leg, one of your legs? This is an easy one, I feel like, but maybe not.
I mean,
we're starting light. Would you rather break your cell phone or break one of your legs?
How broken over the
Ooh.
Broken.
Like never use again broken?
Broken.
Like
you got to replace that
smashed.
bitch. You can't get it. You can't go to the phone doctor about it. You broke it.
I'm still going to go with cell phone. I'm going to break that cell phone quicker. Nope. I almost broke my femur and that was no bueno. So no.
Well, nobody has insurance these days. So even though you will have to have a $1,000 phone, it would be cheaper than breaking your leg.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And less
That's facts.
in my body.
And less painful.
Mm-hmm.
Also less cool, less painful.
Yeah, you can't have anybody sign a cast on a phone,
right?
You know, that's
Sure,
the bad part.
An app for it. I am sure there's got.
But you couldn't pull it up on your broken phone.
Yeah, you're gonna try to. Here's the app.
We go old school on the
wrap it
desktop.
You slap a sticky note on it, you know, and everybody sign there.
Like paper mache around it. Just make a cast. Cell phone. So this was an easy start. This was just to get y'all back to the computer. Of course, you would rather break your cell phone. Some people are so attached to their electronics though that they would rather break a body part. Maybe also tired of life. They're probably like, I don't want to get
Someone is nasty and stop.
They're like, let me feel the pain for once, you know.
Yeah, right. Our dogs are super party right now. It's fantastic in here. Okay. Question number 2. Would you rather be the clown who distracts the bull or the cowboy who rides the bull?
Ooh, cowboy who rides the bull for sure. Yeah, it's in my blood. Yeah, I'm a Texan, so
it's in my head.
You know, we're
gonna say that.
Yeah.
Can't buck, bitch.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm competitive for that.
No, I'm the first one to fly off. Like I just put my hand on the seat and bam, I'm already flown off.
You just pull your knees in tight and hold on. That's what you do. And rock with the bucks.
Yeah.
With the bucks.
Got to buck with the motion.
Rides. Next with the eyeballs.
I've seen some crazy.
Next, what's your answer though?
Clown hits.
Next, what's your answer? Because I've seen some crazy cowboy hits too when they fall off.
That's for sure.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
Dangerous either way.
Yeah. Especially if you're like in front of the cow, in front of the bull doing the chasing around, there's not much you can do. The biggest thing you can do is put a barrel over you and just like let it rock away.
He said, "I'll hold the camera. I'm not getting on.
I'll hold the camera,
and I'm not
doing either one."
That's funny, Nick.
Absolutely, like say it.
I'll make sure it gets posted.
Yeah, you can say it. There's some white people shit. That's some shit. Yeah, that's white shit.
That's a world star moment right there.
It really is. It really is. I agree with Nex on this. I would prefer not to be involved in this at all. But if I had to be involved, which you do have to be involved, I would ride. Because
I would have Nex make sure he captures my good side.
He said 100%. That's white people shit. Would you rather? Okay, this is the last one, and
hold on.
I am a little bit sorry, but not sorry.
Hold on to your bull.
Hold on to. It's gonna be a bumpy ride. You're about to get bucked off this. Okay, no more of those. Would you rather? Would you rather eat a stranger's toenail clippings once a week, or have everything smell like rotten eggs?
Oh. God, that is so hard.
Everything smells like rotten eggs all the time. Forever, all the time.
Okay.
Oh.
Or
how long do I have to eat the toenails?
I'm gonna go with toenails. I'm gonna take them like vitamins.
Forever, for life.
Like a just.
Yeah, once a week.
I would make sure I clean them and like boil them, make them soft, and like I just make them into a food and be like, fuck it.
Yeah, like grind them down, put them in a capsule.
Yeah. As long as they're clean, you know.
Hey, can I tell you something next though? Okay, listen. Okay, just let me tell you something. I was just listening to another podcast that I enjoy, My Favorite Murder. And
nice.
One of them was talking about on one of the episodes about mummies. People used to take mummy for health reasons. Mummy, and so then I'm not telling the story right at all, but then they ran out of like actual mummies. So they would just use like prisoners or poor people that died on the street. So you weren't getting she says, since I can't know in this instance,
in this world,
you would be able to smell on this timeline. You would be able to smell. You can't get on it. So what
COVID don't take your sense on this one.
What I'm telling you is
one thing you can smell.
That first of all, that's cannibalism, and second of all, rich people especially will literally do anything and everything to their youth or their health, and they'll so you can make up some shit. You can be like, listen,
literally,
if you crush up and eat the toenails of a Swedish princess once a week, then the wrinkles under your eyes will start to miraculously disappear. Also, you need to wear a mask of your own period blood or something. Like they won't do it. They'll do it.
Yeah.
Just the actual pad with ear loops and everything.
I'm saying they'll create that as a necessity for what they're doing. I'm telling you.
Wear it across your
I'm telling you what happened.
It's a Simba moment.
It's really true, but I know that it's true. I do know that.
Yep.
I firmly believe that they are doing the weirdest things in their homes with the most ridiculous items. Like they're probably like taking a cucumber and just like rubbing it all over themselves and canting, and chanting.
Yes, they put it on the internet. It's ridiculous what rich people do.
Well, actual benefits of cucumbers.
Well, yeah, cucumbers are beneficial. Also, they're delicious.
Yeah, I take back that one because I was like, damn, now I want a cucumber. Like,
yes,
I need a salad right now.
No, they're probably ordering bat guana from India and rubbing it on their face as a face mask. You know what I'm saying? They're doing shit like that, and it's just like, and then some person from fucking Tennessee is like shoveling cow manure out of the back and put in a bag, marking it as you know what I'm saying? It's like that.
She's like, don't worry, it's locally sourced by Juan.
Locally sourced. It's organic.
It's organic. It's daily.
You can grind the toenails up and put them in a capsule. It's fine.
Yeah.
They also used to.
I might choose that over.
Yeah, there also used to be a paint called Mummy Brown.
Mummy Brown.
Yeah, and they actually got it from the like they would get it from the color, like something about they get it from the mummy. They were created from the mummy. The paint is created from whatever the bones or the.
So Morticia wearing her mom's ashes as eyeshadow and her dad's ashes as blush is pretty literal.
Could have been.
Oh my god, yeah.
Could have been.
Possibility.
Did you have fun today?
I've heard about that. Huh?
Did you have fun today?
Show? I had very much fun, guys. This has been great. I had a lot of fun. This has been the highlight of my day.
Well,
yeah.
I love being the highlight of someone's day.
Nice. Yeah.
It's harsh. I don't know why. Anyways, well, we enjoyed having you on today.
I appreciate it.
Conversations were fantastic. We learned something about Jesus today. Not Jesus, the Bible.
Yeah.
And mummies also.
That I did not know.
Yeah.
Love learning about that.
If you guys don't listen to my it's fantastic. I learned actually quite a bit. I actually learned about the audiobook that we talked about today on that show. I was like, I need to listen to this book. And I started listening and laughing. And then I was like, everybody else needs to listen to this book too. So with that, this is our last show for a minute. We're gonna rework some shit. And then we're gonna come back. We're gonna have some shows planned when we come back. And we might reformat some shit. We might have a new location. That's a potential thing. But look for us on our Instagram, Cannabis Closet 420. If you want to follow Jacob and follow what's going on in Colorado with those rules, it's LEL Mile High, all one word. So just at L Mile High on Instagram, go follow him there, and be nice to yourself, and don't forget to put your mask on before assisting others.
I was gonna mention, guys, if it'll be okay, I do a quick plug for those that are in Denver here in Colorado.
Sure.
We are on September 26th to October 3rd is the Denver Walls Festival, where you can come out for free and see some local artists of all various ethnicities, all various diverse cultures, doing some murals across Denver Rhino District. With that, we have a place there will be. Sorry, I might pop off for a second. Sorry, guys. We have a. Can y'all still see me?
Yeah.
Urban. Okay, cool. So at Urban Green Development is the name of the business and location, which we will be located at, doing mixed drinks, things like that, handing out waters to those that are looking at the art. Plus, we'll have our Squid Liquor. You can find them at squid.liquor on IG. They will be the artist painting on the walls for that venue, and that's where we'll be located at 3198 Blake Street in Denver, Colorado.
Oh, nice.
So if you are very interested in coming by, we'll be having some infused drinks, things like that, a little bit of music, just showcasing these artists and what they can do.
Dope. Yeah, send us that information and we'll make sure that we get it out to the masses and we'll get this shared as well.
Yeah, I think I liked it on my personal page. I remember, I think I actually started following Denver Walls. My friend Katrina did a project like that out in West Virginia, called Mending Walls, where they they united artists in the communities, and then actually had the communities come out and help paint the murals, and then they did a whole book collaboration about it, and it's been a whole journey for her. So I was excited.
Awesome.
What they're doing here.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah. Excellent. Yeah, it's the best way for us to showcase our artists and get those people some exposure. So check them out, guys. Think it'll be fun.
We definitely will. We'll definitely share that information.
Awesome.
So thank you for coming. And again, you guys, be nice to yourselves. Put your mask on before assisting others.
Yeah. Cultivate love. Bring it to you.
Bring it.
Yes.
You deserve it.
And of course, as always, stay lifted, everybody. We'll see you on Discord. Go follow us on Discord, Canvas Closet 420. All right. Go find us.